Good morning, Louis. All right. Good morning, everyone. I think we have to start already since Damon is already on board. And I would just like to introduce our speaker for today. By the way, my name is Frederick de Guzman. You can call me Fred. I am the account manager of GALE, handling Philippines and Oceania territory. And today we will be presenting GALE eBooks, and we are glad that Damien is with us. And let me just introduce Damien. He has been with Cengage and Gale for over 12 years, and he currently looks after all the training for the ANZ region and works closely with customers to ensure that they are well supported and get the best experience from Gale. When he is not running face-to-face training with customers, he organizes online webinar training on products and features for customers. So everyone, let's all welcome Damien Almeida.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. Firstly, I want to say thank you to Benguet State University for the opportunity to present GALE eBooks. I think this is a really wonderful platform, and over the course of this webinar, hopefully you'll see some of the unique features that GALE has in this particular platform. We'll explore some ebooks, we'll look at some functionality, and how it's going to benefit your academics and your students using this particular product. Now, I do have a chat feature available, so if you do have any questions over the course of this webinar, put your questions onto the chat. My colleague Frederick will answer some of them if it's possible, or if it's something that he needs to ask me, he can ask me and I can go back and re-demonstrate that particular part of the process. So ask as much questions as you want. We are also recording this particular session today, so if you want to share this with colleagues or you want to put that up onto your intranet, you'll be able to do that. I'll share the link to the recording after this particular webinar. So just quickly want to start off, I'll bring up an agenda of some of the things I want to talk about today. So obviously we're here to talk about the GALE eBooks, but there's so much more to just the GALE eBooks, and I'll cover all of that in as much detail as possible. We'll look at some of the technology, and this is technology that I think will benefit your academics from a research point of view, your students, how it will make it easier for them to search for content, and once they find this content, what they can actually do with it. So we'll look at some features over there as well. And I'm not going to go very detailed in a PowerPoint presentation today. I do have a few slides that I'm going to run through, but I will spend more time on a demonstration showcasing the actual platform. We'll go live into the GALE eBooks, we'll have a look at it, and we'll just try some unique search terms that are unique to your particular institution as well. So but first, just a bit about GALE eBooks. One of the things I want to quickly mention is that it contains titles from all of GALE. So all of the titles that GALE publishes is available on this particular platform, plus 100 publishing partners as well, including Springer, Wiley, Elsevier as well. Now, if you do require a list of all the GALE eBooks that we have available, we have that available in an Excel document, and I'm sure Frederick can send you an email with all of the ebooks in there. It covers multiple different subject areas like arts, humanities, business, science, literature, and we'll look at some of that as well. Oh, that's my next point, which is, all of the academic subjects, including the engineering, hard sciences, business, and psychology. What's really interesting with GALE eBooks is that you can cross-search all of the different ebooks that you have simultaneously on the GALE eBooks platform. Now, if you happen to subscribe to multiple databases from GALE, you can use something called Power Search, which is a cross-searching platform, and you can cross-search GALE eBooks with any databases that you may subscribe to from GALE as well. Now, we have some fantastic databases that cover academic subject areas like Academic OneFile. We have the General OneFile that looks at general interest topics, and we have the GALE eBooks as well. And in addition to that, we also have GALE OneFile News, which is looking at newspapers from around the world. So the GALE, or the Power Search platform that we've developed, will cross-search all of these different databases, including your GALE eBooks, simultaneously, and it helps you to maximize the results that you get from your cross-searching. So you can type in a keyword like business, for instance, and you're going to get thousands upon thousands of documents that are retrieved as part of that keyword search. If I have time, I will try to show you that today. And what's really exciting about the GALE eBooks is that it allows for unlimited simultaneous user access to the platform. Now, what I mean by that is if your institution was to only purchase one ebook from GALE, let's just say a science book, for instance, and if you have 1,000 students at your university, all 1,000 students can access that ebook at the same time. There are no restrictions on to how many students can access that book at the same time. So that's what I mean by unlimited simultaneous user access. And that's really interesting. It's really powerful because it gives everyone access to the same book at the same time within the university. Okay, so this is just a quick example about the GALE eBooks. As you can see over here, we have multiple different subject areas: history, general reference, medicine, religion, science, social science, technology. And one of the interesting things about the GALE eBooks, and I'm going to talk about this particular feature here, one of the abilities that we offer librarians at your institution is to create custom collections within your GALE ebook, like I've done over here. I've called it Featured This Month, or you can call it, Benguet State University's Special Reading, or whatever you want to call it. So we give the librarians a username and a password to sign in as an admin into the GALE eBooks, and then you can create custom collections like such. And any new book that your institute purchases, you can draw that into this particular window. So when your students sign in, that is the first thing that they see on the GALE eBooks. Perhaps you want to promote a particular collection during that month. So you may be interested in promoting literature books. So you can drag all of the literature books that you have and put it into that particular window over there. And I'll show you this in the demonstration as well. So when you want to access a book, all you've got to do is click on the cover of the book, and straight away you'll be taken to a table of contents. And everything that I'm showing you now in a PowerPoint slide, we'll look at it in the live environment as well. So going into the table of contents, you can look through the table of contents for that particular book. You can read a bit about the publication. You can get information like the higher level metadata, so the ISBN, the EISBN, the date of publication, all of that other interesting information. You can look through the book index, and what's really even more exciting is the ability to view all the illustrations that appear in this particular book right at the very beginning. So you don't need to go through the entire book to read the illustration or look for illustrations. Selecting this option will highlight all the illustrations available in that particular book if you wanted to download an illustration and use it as an activity or put it into an assignment. So that's really the purpose of that particular option. And we'll go through some more features when we go into the live website. But if you selected a particular topic, in this case I've selected this particular topic, as you can see here, this is what it will look like once it opens up in HTML format. Now, all of the GALE databases as well as the ebooks, when you access any article or, as you can see over here, topic, it will all open up in the exact same layout. It will look exactly the same. And the purpose of that is it brings about a level of familiarity with your students. So whether they're accessing ebooks or whether they're accessing databases, when they get to the content, the features and functionality are exactly the same, and that brings about a level of familiarity and confidence to explore and continue to read content as well. So we'll look at this in a little bit more detail. Now, because we're looking at GALE eBooks, you have the ability to view the article as it appears in a printed ebook, like we're looking at it right now, or you can look at the article as a HTML format as well. It's a matter of preference, really, and these options exist right at the very top over here. You can see text view. That is where you will toggle between a book layout or a HTML text layout, and I'll show you this in the demonstration as well. Now, the other thing that I also wanted to point out about reading an article is when you bring up any article, you have the ability, oops, I think I skipped too quickly. You have the ability to highlight text. As you can see over here, I've highlighted text. And when you highlight text, this floating toolbar appears, which allows you to highlight, add notes. You can copy the citation for this particular article. And if you're a student, you can then add that into an assignment. The other interesting thing is also for students, you can select passages of text and you can add your own study notes as well. And you can then download that as a PDF document to help you prepare for your exams. So that's the purpose of this particular feature. We'll look at this in a little bit more detail when we actually go into the live platform. Now, in addition to all of that other technology that I showcased, there's other technology that's available. And one of the most interesting things that we have is the cross-searching platform. I talked about that. You can use GALE Power Search to cross-search ebooks with databases, or even if you're looking at the ebooks platform itself, it allows you to cross-search all of the different ebooks simultaneously. So as an example, if you have 10 books on business, you can type in a keyword business and it will search all 10 books for that particular keyword. We'll look at this in the example. And I mentioned about admin access where you can create your own custom collections as well. We have collaboration tools, which is the Google and Microsoft login. Now, the purpose of this is allowing students to download content or download pages of the ebook, download articles, or download their highlights and notes directly into their Google Drive or their OneDrive. And they have that available wherever they travel on their personal computers, or even if they're accessing it on their tablets, they can still access whatever they have downloaded. So that's the point of having a Google and a Microsoft access. Now, there's on-demand translation available for all of the content because it is ebooks and we have converted these ebooks into text, HTML text. So you do have the ability to translate the content into 40 different languages, and you can also enable the read speak technology, which will read the content out to you as well. So for anyone who is an auditory learner, or if English is a second language, you can select the option to have the content read out aloud. And you can also download that as an MP3 file and save that to your university's intranet so students can hear the playback as well. Optimized content means all of our platforms are platform agnostic. It works on any device, so you can access it on a PC, on an iPad, Android device, or even a Mac computer. It will scale to fit the screen size that you're accessing your content on. And that's what I mean by optimized content. And of course, we have citation tools. So you can select the style of citation, and you can then select the service that you want that citation exported into, like Google, OneDrive, Zotero, ProCite, Reference Manager, for instance. A lot of different options. We'll showcase some of that in the demonstration. And I talked about it being platform agnostic. It will work on any device. Now, sometimes you may be wondering, why will students access content on their mobile phones? A lot of individuals today, recent studies have shown, people consume content on handheld devices more than they do on desktops. So tablets and phones are very popular with the younger generation today to consume content. So our platforms work on these devices and they'll be able to read their ebooks. And because it's in HTML as well, it will scale to fit the screen size and it's easy to read and digest as well. And of course, this is what the citation tools look like. You can select the style of citation and the service that you want that particular citation exported into as well. Now, Topic Finder is a really exciting tool that we have in the GALE eBooks and across all of our databases as well. What the Topic Finder really does in this case, as you can see, I've typed in a keyword management studies. Now, it will look through all of the ebooks that I have on management, and any book that contains the keyword management or studies. What it will do, this particular tool, is it will look through all of that content and it will bring all of the search results and it will group it thematically by topic, and it will showcase it in a tile diagram. So it's a very visual way for us to look at search results. Normally when you do a search, you'll get lines and lines of search results, and that's really great. You can go through, but if you have like thousands upon thousands of results, it makes it hard for someone to visually understand what's being retrieved. So having all of that search results grouped thematically by topic in a visual diagram that we're seeing here is really helpful, especially for students. So you can see here, it's grouped all of my search results by topic, and it works on a heat map. So anything in green means it's a very cool topic. There are not a lot of articles associated with it. But as you go upward towards orange and red, there are more articles for that particular topic. So let's say we'll just select distance learning as an example today. You can see there are additional subtopics available under distant learning. And if I select any one of these topics, the articles start filtering on the right-hand side. So from thousands upon thousands of search results, I have now narrowed it down to 63 documents, which is an easier number for me to read and do some close reading on. So you don't have to read thousands upon thousands of documents. Use this option to filter your results down to a more manageable number, which you can then read. And that takes me straight into the demonstration. Now, if you do have any questions, again, please go to the chat and type in your question over there, and my colleague Frederick and I will be able to answer your question. So what I'm going to do now is very quickly change my screens, and we'll go into the actual live platform. So this is the actual GALE eBooks platform. As you can see over here, we're in the live environment. The very first thing you want to do when you access GALE eBooks is to sign in either using a Google or Microsoft login. And again, the purpose of doing that is so that you can download content to your Google Drive or to your Microsoft OneDrive. Today, I'm going to sign in with my Google account. As you can see, it's got my name right at the very top over there. Now, right up over here, we have a basic search box, but you can change that to subject search, publication search, or even an entire document. Now, what the difference between an entire document and basic search is, the basic search will just look at article headings, it will look at the titles, and it'll look at for keywords and the metadata. But doing an entire document search will look through the actual content of the article and search for your keyword, and that's really important. You can also use an advanced search feature. So I'll select the advanced search, and you can see in the advanced search, you can use Boolean expressions to help you maximize your results. You can search by ISBN, author, publisher, volume number, even a GALE document number. Every single article across all of our ebooks, all of our databases has a unique GALE document number assigned to it. So as an academic, if you come across a particular article that is interesting, you can copy the GALE document number and share that with your students. And then your students can use the advanced search feature, and they can search for that particular article and read through it as well. Okay. And then as you scroll down, there are other options. You can search for documents that contain images, documents that contain videos, publications, collections. So as you can see over here, we have multiple collections in my kit. Now I'm an employee at GALE, therefore I have many collections. But if you have many collections as well, all of the collections will be listed out over here. There is content level as well. So if you're looking for content for at a higher level or lower level, you'll be able to search for that over here using these features. There is publication language. Now, as you can see, we have English and Spanish. Depending on the ebook that you have access to, or the ebook that's in your platform, if it's in French or German, those options will feature over here. And then there's other options like Lexile Measure, which is basically a reading level range for you to choose from to search for appropriate content for your students. The next option we have is a subject guide search. And using a subject guide search, what you can actually do is, if you're looking for the key subject area, business, for instance, let's type in business. Okay, so I've just typed in business, and you can see straight away it's brought out different subject areas based on my keyword business. So I've got business and education, I've got business angels, business assistants, business associations, And you can see the number of results on the right hand side over here. It is another way for you to find content based on a subject. So that's a really exciting thing. Now, Topic Finder is available over here in the advanced search option, and I'm going to explain this feature. We'll click on that. And for Topic Finder, what I'll do is I'll type in, I know in the PowerPoint we typed in business, but maybe we'll type in another keyword. Let's type humanities. Just correct the spelling. So I'll just type in the keyword humanities, and I want to see what kind of content is going to be retrieved as part of that word. So what's happening right now is it's looking through thousands upon thousands of articles across all of the ebooks, and it is retrieved all of those search results, and it's brought that all in a tile diagram over here. As you can see, it's grouped everything thematically by topic. So if I'm interested in humanities, in social sciences, I can select that option. You can see it's now narrowed my results down to 50 results. But if I'm interested in education, for instance, I'll select that option. It has now reduced that to 11 documents, which is easy for me to read. It is a much more manageable number, and I'm sure I can read 11 documents in a day or maybe even 2 days, as opposed to reading thousands upon thousands of documents. So the real reason the Topic Finder is so powerful is because it's a great way for students to search for content visually using this particular feature. Okay, we'll go back to the home screen and we'll search for the same word humanities in the basic search, and let's see how many results are retrieved as part of that keyword search. Now, to go back to the home screen, you can always select on the orange logo right at the very top, and it'll take you back to the home screen. Okay, now before we come and explore anything else, I'm going to quickly search for that keyword humanities again. And straight away you can see 19,064 results have been retrieved as part of my keyword search. Now, to read 19,000 documents would have taken me a couple of months, to be honest, or even actually a couple of years. But when I used Topic Finder, it brought down that 19,000 into a visual diagram, and then I realized what I wanted to search for, which was education, and I filtered it down, and it came down to 11 documents which I was really interested in, and it made it easy for me to read. So that is the power of the Topic Finder functionality. Okay, we'll go back to the home screen and we'll look at some other features. So over here we have a title list, and this will take you back to the GALE website where you can download it in an Excel document, a list of all the GALE ebooks available for you to purchase. And you can then purchase any ebooks, and we can make it available on this particular platform. Your search history will only be available for as long as you are actively using the platform, as you can see over here. If I was to close down this website, it will wipe your search history clean, because at GALE, every database is session specific. We do not save any user content on our databases because of privacy reasons. So the moment you close this website, your search history will be wiped clean and your content will not be saved at GALE. So that's a really important thing to mention. Now, Get Link is a really exciting feature. I'll explain that when we go into the article level of the ebook, and also the highlights and notes. Scrolling down, you can see over here we have browse collections, multiple different collections over here, and you can see I've actually created my own collection. I've called it Damien's Recommendation, or I can even create another one and I can call it Featured This Month. And what's really exciting about this is you can create as many collections as you like, and if your library or if your institution purchases a new book and you want your students to find that book and read that book, you can create a collection like this and add the content to that collection. It's really easy to do. Right down at the very bottom over here, we have librarian login. We'll give you that admin access to the library, and they'll be able to log in and it'll say create a new collection and drag and drop a book into that collection. It's as easy as that, such a simple thing to do. Okay, now, and you can see over here multiple different collections over here: environment, general reference, history, information publishing, and it'll only show you the top 5 or 6 books, but you can scroll through and then you'll come across this view all books in this collection. Select that option. You can see 122 ebooks on history. Okay, quite a big extensive collection as you can see over here. Now what we're seeing on my login is basically everything that I have access to as a GALE employee. So I only have GALE ebooks available over here. But if you bought any third-party ebooks, you'll be able to see that here. Okay, let's explore some ebooks. The first thing we'll do is we'll pick this particular book, Emerging Diseases. So all I've got to do is click on the title and straight away it will take me into that particular book. Now, if we go into the About publication, you'll be able to see over here the metadata for this book. It was published in 2018, 597 pages, ISBN, some other information over here that's really exciting. Table of contents will show you the table of contents for this particular book, and you can read through that and select anything that you want to read a little bit more about. Book index obviously will show you the book index. You can see over here, really exciting. And list of illustrations will list out every single illustration appearing in this particular book. So you don't need to go through the book to find the illustrations. You can find all of that illustrations available over here. So for a student, what you can do is come into this option, select something, an illustration that you want to add to a assignment, download the illustration, add that to your assignment. It is as easy and simple as that. But let's read an article. So what I'm going to do is quickly click on table of contents, and we'll open up maybe the avian influenza. So give that a moment, and that's going to quickly open up. So like I showed you earlier in the PowerPoint presentation, everything will open up in the exact same way. This is the title of your article that you're reading. This is your high-level metadata for this article, the author, the date of publication, where that's being published from, number of pages, content level, things like that. Right at the very top, we have the option to view the table of contents in this particular ebook. So this particular ebook, as you can see here, is, oops, I shouldn't have clicked that button, is the GALE Encyclopedia of Emerging Diseases. Sorry, I clicked on the link accidentally. It's right over here. So you can view the table of contents for this particular ebook. And if you want to navigate between this particular article to any other article, select this option. Now, what you're seeing over here is basically the article in an HTML format. But if you want to read this as an ebook or how it appeared in the print, select the option over here, Book View, and you'll see in a moment, it will actually show you how this article appeared in a printed book. So this is what the article looked like in the actual printed book. I mean, it looks really nice. It feels like an ebook, like you're reading an electronic ebook, but it's a matter of personal preference. I like to read it in a text view format because it's just easier to read. There's more functionality, which I'll show you in a moment. Then we have citation over here, which you can choose your style of citation and the service you want to export that to. You can then send this to Google Drive. Now, because I've signed in my Google account, I can download this article, which is arthropod-bone diseases, and you can see the moment I select Google, automatically it will be sent to my Google Drive. Or I can also email this to a colleague or to a student or a fellow academic at the institution. Different options for you to choose from. Or you can even download this to your own computer as well. So that option exists over here. Print is the ability for you to print that out. Now the Get link is a really exciting one. The Get link has two options. Select that to get the link to this particular article. As an academic, if you're reading this and you think this is really exciting, copy the option Get link and then select this. You can put this in an email and send that to your students. Or if you're a student and you're making a presentation on arthropod bone diseases, you can embed this particular link in a PowerPoint presentation. And when you click the link, it will bring you straight to this particular article. So there's multiple ways you can actually use that. You can add the link into an assignment as well. Or if you are making study notes, you can copy the link and add that into a Word document. Multiple options. And the last option is highlights and notes. So to activate the highlights and notes, what you have to do is select a passage of text. So I'll quickly select this passage over here, the sentence, and you can see straight away this highlight box is coming up. So I can highlight that purple and I can add a note. This is a test note to me. and save that. It's as easy as that. And if you see highlights and notes right at the very top, we now have a text that's highlighted and we have some study notes. Now what's really exciting, once you highlight, the article, you add your own notes, you can actually download that over here as a PDF document. You'll see now I click download. So it's going to download the highlights as well as the notes that you've typed as highlights and notes. And so as a student, you can prepare your own study notes or assistance notes, as you would like to call them. And it can help you prepare for articles or presentations or however you feel comfortable using it. So that's the purpose of the highlights and notes. We'll go back a step. And the other options that we also have over here, as you can see, is the ability to translate. So you can translate this article into close to 40 different languages, as you can see over here. In addition to translating the language, you can also translate the entire website, which is all of the headings, all of these headings over here, into nearly 28 different languages, if I'm not mistaken. You can increase and decrease the font size, make it easier for you to read. And if you are using the read speak tool, what you can also do is you can select a passage of text and it will read out this text once you select this option. So we'll wait for that to play back.
Arthropod-borne diseases are infectious diseases caused by the transmission of organisms such as bacteria and viruses to humans and animals by arthropods.
There we go. So in addition to having that article read out, you can also download that as an MP3 file. So the entire article can be downloaded as an MP3 file. It can be played back and your students can listen to it if they're auditory learners. Multiple options over there. And of course, we have, again, the same features to download to Google Drive, OneDrive, email it, or you can even download it yourself. So these options exist over here as well, just a matter of preference, really. And on the right-hand side, what we're seeing over here is recommendations to other articles that are very similar to what you're currently reading. And as you can see over here, other related subjects. So the platform is giving you some recommendations that it thinks you may be interested in. And you can also see we have another feature, which is the definition. So if you select any word, you can see we have citation and define. The define is basically the dictionary that will help you define a word if you need to understand the meaning for it. And sometimes when you're reading an article, you may notice some words are highlighted in blue, like a highlight over here. So click that option. You can see there's another link to another book over here. So let's assume you have, 2,000 GALE ebooks in your collection. What happens is we have a feature called interlinking available in our ebook system, which will link from one ebook to another ebook if there is similar content that you may be interested in. So for example, you can see mosquitoes over here. If I select that option, I have 2 books over here that contain additional information about mosquitoes, and these are ebooks that I have access to or my institution has. So depending on how many books you have at your institution, these links will become automatically available to you and within the article itself. And if you scroll down the article, if you go right down to the very bottom, we'll keep scrolling, you'll see right at the very bottom we have the source citation for this particular article. And here's where you can find the GALE document number. Every article has a unique GALE document number, and you can use this document number to find the article. You can use the document number to share it with your students or your faculty as well. And then again, some more recommendations right at the very bottom, asking you, do you want to, read some other information similar to this? So it's a very simple and easy to use database. It's very user intuitive, and I think it will be really powerful as well. Very quickly, I'll open up another document just to show you again, just another ebook. I'll open up this particular one, which is an arts book. I think it's all about music. So you can click the option, list illustrations, and you'll be able to see in a moment all of the illustrations that appear on this particular product. You can see straight away all of the different musicians that are appearing in this particular product. Click on the table of contents over here, and everything in this particular book is sorted alphabetically. So you can select any topic over here, and again, it will open out automatically in HTML format, which makes it easy for you to read, easy for your students as well to look through. And remember, using the GALE eBooks option, you can search for, hundreds upon thousands of documents using this particular cross-searching function. And this is cross-searching all of the ebooks that your institution has access to. And just before I go, I'll show you one last thing, which is the GALE Power Search platform. I think your institution has used this in the past, if I'm not mistaken. It's a cross-searching platform which you can use to cross-search ebooks as well as GALE databases as well. And again, it's looking through all of the databases that your institution has access to. Everything has been recently updated up to new technology, as you can see over here, the latest websites, and these websites are all Counter 5 compliant, so we can give you really good statistics if you're interested in it, and I think that's really powerful as well. So that's all about GALE eBooks. What I'm going to do is quickly bring up my contact details, and if you have any questions, what I'm going to do is put myself on mute, or rather I'll just wait for your questions. I'll have a look at the chat box and see if there are any questions, and yes, please go into the chat and ask me your questions and I'll be able to answer that. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present this particular product. I hope you take out a trial to this. You can take out a 30-day trial. We can put some ebooks on there for you to have a look at. Speak to Frederick. I'm sure he can set something up for you.
Thank you so much, Damian. Any questions?
Sir Frederick, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I think I listed 4 questions in here. First is, so I want to ask if it is perpetual.
Yes, sir. This is a perpetual model, so it's more of like buying the print. It's just you are having an electronic format.
Okay. The second one is it possible that we can download from cover to cover?
Well, as to downloading, Sir Lauren, we can download articles, but not the entire book at one time. You can download all the articles from a certain ebook, but of course, article by article, not just one downloading, and you can download already the entire content of the book, of the ebook.
And just to add to that as well, with regard to the downloading, because you have 24/7 access, you can access the ebook anytime, doesn't really matter. You can download it as a PDF. I mean, technically, like Frederick was saying, article by article, but because it's online, it's always better to access the content online, because if there's any corrections or anything in terms of the language, that will be available online. So you want to make sure that you're getting the latest content as well over there. I mean, normally we don't change anything, but if someone was reading a book and they said, listen, there's a factual error in this particular book, we can correct it onto the platform on the HTML, and that way you're accessing the latest content. So I think it's better to always go online and access it as well.
Okay, thank you, sir. My third question is, I just want to ask about the translation. How accurate is the translation?
Very good question. Now, with any product out there, the translation is a machine translation. So grammatically, it's not going to be 100%. Like, for instance, if you read a document in English and if you translated it into your native language, obviously you'll take into account the nuances like grammar and the meaning. But because we're using a machine to translate, so it's approximate, but it's not 100% literal. Does that make sense?
Yes, right.
So you can get the understanding. I mean, if someone was translating it into French and reading it in French, they will understand what's being translated. They can understand the content, but the grammar and some of those things are very unique to each, culture, I suppose. Any other questions?
Yeah. Just a follow-up questions regarding the printing of the different parts of the book. Uh, I don't know if how can we collate that if if it is not allowed from cover to cover.
How can you collate the printing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can print the book by article. What you could also do is you can print by pages. So if you remember, I showed you how to view the book as a HTML layout or as a printed or as an ebook layout, which is you can see 2 pages. So in that particular layout, you can say page 1 to page 10, for instance, and that way you'll have 10 pages as a PDF, which you can do. Technically, by copyright reasons, you can print up to about 10% of the book, but from experience, I've always learned that it's always better to access it online because of the added functionality that is built into ebooks. Like if you're giving a book to the student to access electronically, they have the ability to personalize it by adding their own individual study notes. Now, each individual absorbs content, learns differently. Some people may read a sentence and they may understand it straight away. Some people may want to rewrite that in words that they best understand it. So I think using it online will give you more features. I mean, you still can print it out and you can go into the 2-page layout, print out page 1 to page 10, for instance. That's how you will print and collate it. But using it online gives you more functionality and features is what I'm trying to get at it, to be honest. I hope that helps.
One last question regarding the legality of archiving, because we have our own platform for archiving, and I just want to ask if what is your idea regarding if you want to download some of your ebooks and then we will put in our archive platform, would that be okay with you, or I don't know?
Frederick, do you want to answer that?
Well, actually, Sir Lauren, you can actually print, as mentioned by Damien, you can print some articles from our ebook platform, and some other librarians are compiling it even, and ring bind it and put it in their print collections. Well, that is technically that is okay for as long as there is no cost involved. Like if other librarians are selling it to the students, they print the articles from our platform and sell it into some schools or somewhere else, then that's something that we have a legal action on. But if this is something that you're just putting in your library as a collection or a print equivalent, just in case your internet will not work, then you have the print material for that specific ebook, then that's okay for as long as there's no economic cost involved.
I think the key word is just non-commercial use is perfectly fine.
Correct.
And I think I understand most institutions will have, the internet's not going to be reliable 100% of the time. So like Frederick was saying, putting it into a ring binder, putting it in your physical collection is an opportunity that you can do, and that's being done by some institutions. But to further ask about your question, when you're talking about archive, are you talking about digital archive or a print archive?
We have a platform, a database. It's an open source, and then we are archiving all those digitized collections. And then I just want to ask if is it okay that we will download your ebooks and then we will add into that platform?
Yeah, to be honest, if I mean, this is just me though. I mean, if you're downloading the book and putting it into an open source platform, there can always be risks that somebody will do something wrong. Not the faculty or anything, but students can then, download that. They can then bind it and sell it. You don't want that happening. See, our platform it doesn't use a lot of internet to access. It's screen resolution that you're looking at. So it's very quick and easy to access, very easy to navigate. So there's a lot of benefits using it online is what I'm sort of canvassing and advocating, because of the functionality for you to highlight the text, add your own notes, and also the cross-searching functionality as well, which I think is really important. If for instance you take out a package of, say, business ebooks, and someone's searching for business studies, it's more harder if you take it out as a print document and cross-search, because one of the things we have on our platform is something called optical character recognition, and the technology allows us to search the entire text of the document and compare that with other similar texts. So which is why when you go into a search and you type business, you have 19,000 results that are retrieved, because it's looking through all the content available across all of the ebooks. If you take that book out of the equation, and then you wouldn't be able to search as effectively as you're searching on the platform. Does that make sense?
Yes, exactly. And just to add also, Sir Lauren, this is also for security reasons. We are not allowing institutions to put it in an open source, because the ebooks itself might be abused by some of the students or users.
Yeah, I understand those legalities, but our platform is within the campus only, or local area network.
Okay.
We are using the open source, but the accessibility is within the campus only. So we all know the scarcity of internet connection in the Philippines, so that will serve as a backup for us. So if in case the network is not going well, that purpose in collecting and archiving those digitized collections.
I think if it's a closed local area network, I'm not sure, to be honest. I can ask the question, but Frederick, do you know what the answer would be to that?
Yes. Well, actually, sir, as mentioned, if this is just within within your campus or within your students and allowed users, then it's okay. For as long as it won't be, because Sir Lauren, there are other open sources that is really open to the public. If that would be the case, then we do not allow. If this is just as your an open source, but to the limitation of your students only, then it's okay, for as long as
Okay. Thank you, sir.
then you can actually have your backup. But again, as Damien advised, it would really much better to access the platform or the ebooks into the platform using your internet, because you have a lot of options there, and of course you can maximize the functionality of the platform.
Thank you, sir. That's all.
All right.
And I think someone just had a quick question. Only once an article or book is downloaded, can students access remotely offline? That's actually a really good question. And to answer that is, if the student downloads an article to their Google Drive or OneDrive, they can access that anywhere. So if they go back to their home computer and they sign in, that document will be available on their Google Drive. So that's accessing it remotely. And that's one of the reasons why we allow individuals to sign in via Google or Microsoft. So when you're reading your book in the institution, or when you have internet access and you're reading a book and you come across a particular article or number of articles that you're interested in, download that to your Google Drive so that you have access to it, because your institution, once you purchase an ebook, you have perpetual access to that. And obviously your students are accessing that content via an institution email address. So that's perfectly allowed as well. We're good then. So if there are no other questions, please feel free to contact Frederick. Frederick will obviously send you a link to this particular recording. Feel free to share that with anyone who's interested in looking at the GALE ebooks. If you don't have access to the platform, Frederick can set you up. You can play around with it, and you can see how easy and simple it is to actually use the platform. Most of our institutions that have taken GALE ebooks, they've asked very similar questions like you've asked me today about downloading it, putting it up on a local area network. But I think once they've started using the GALE ebooks, I think a lot of those questions just disappeared because it's really simple and easy to use as well. Excellent. All right. With that, I'll say thank you so much for coming on today. I do appreciate your time. If you have any questions, contact either Frederick or myself. We're happy to help you.